What's up, Gold Team? Today I've got something a little bit different for you. I'm going to be giving you a comprehensive guide of an item that I discovered last week. This item is very underrated and some of you probably don't even know what it does. For those of you who do know, I definitely recommend you stick around to the end because I can guarantee you're going to be learning something that will be very useful to your game. So, without further ado, this is the Eject Button. Just a basic description here on Showdown. If holder is hit, it immediately switches out with a chosen ally, single use. So basically what this means is once my Stoutland takes a hit, it will be immediately ejected from the field of battle. I'll get to pick any of my other Pokemon to come back in and take its place. At first glance, this doesn't seem very useful and could even hurt you, but let me take you over all the ways this item can be a real lifesaver when you need it. The first great way to use the Eject Button is in partnership with a Pursuit Trapper. For that role, I'm using Sneasel. So in this situation, I want Sneasel in, but Sneasel can't take a Sludge Wave. Thankfully, my Stoutland can, so I switch in Stoutland, it takes a Sludge Wave for Sneasel, allows me to get a free switch into Sneasel, and at this point, all I have to do is click Pursuit. The Haunter's going to die no matter what. If it switches out, Pursuit's going to catch him. If he stays in, Pursuit is powerful enough to kill him. And because of that Eject Button, I don't have to sack a Pokemon to pull off a Pursuit Trap. Because there are so many powerful Ghosts and Psychic types, this situation happens all the time. Here's another example. I switch in Stoutland so that my Sneasel doesn't have to take a hit. Stoutland takes the Energy Ball no problem. Same as before, I go into Sneasel, and I click Pursuit. This one goes a little bit less smoothly because, unfortunately, Kadabras are usually sashed, but Sneasel is still able to get the job done, as you're able to see. So I bring him down to his sash with Pursuit. Had he just switched out there, it would have been down to his sash anyways. And now with a second Pursuit, I can easily take out this Kadabra and guarantee to get rid of one of the biggest threats on his team, all thanks to that Eject Button. A second very helpful way you can use the Eject Button is when the opponent takes offensive pressure from you, you can regain it as your own. In 1 second here, my opponent is about to make a great play and take offensive pressure from me by bringing in Dodrio, which is faster than my Plusle, meaning I have to sack something. But because I have the Eject Button, I'm able to steal his offensive pressure here. I have to go into my Stoutland, get off the Intimidate, and take one hit from Dodrio. I wouldn't be able to take two, but with the Eject Button, I get a free switch into Sneasel, and Sneasel, being faster than Dodrio, puts pressure on his entire team with Knockoff. And just like that, because of the Eject Button, I am able to regain offensive momentum for myself. The third and most important way that the Eject Button can be used to help you in battle is by stopping Volt Switchers or U-turners. This happens in almost every battle where you get a kill like I just did, and the opponent brings in either a Volt Switcher or a U-turner to revenge kill you or keep the initiative for your own. But using the Eject Button, we can flip this around on the opponent. Watch as I send in my Stoutland here with the Eject Button, and I take, look at this, it's a Volt Switch, not a Thunderbolt. I take the Volt Switch, my Eject Button activates, and I choose to go into Sneasel because I can put pressure on his Raichu with it. But here is the most important part. The Raichu went for Volt Switch, yet remains in because of my Eject Button. The Eject Button stops both Volt Switches and U-turns in their tracks and allows you to take the momentum back from your opponent. Now that you know how to use the Eject Button to aid you in battle, let's discuss the downsides of the Eject Button and how, just like any other item, there are certain Pokemon that are better suited to using the Eject Button. I'll be giving you my opinion on which type of Pokemon best use the Eject Button. To start off with weaknesses, if you're in against a Pokemon that is faster than you, they're going to be able to get a hit off on you and you won't be able to retaliate. For example, if I'm facing a Pidgeot with my Stoutland, it's going to be able to Brave Bird me, and I, because of my Eject Button, will not be able to hit back. Once I get Brave Birded, I'll be forced to switch into something else. And beyond that, the Eject Button is a one-time use only, so that means once you use your Eject Button, you're not going to be able to use it again unless you have Recycle. So as far as Pokemon that use the Eject Button most effectively, speed can be an important factor because of that first flaw. You don't want to be outsped by everything on the battlefield. You want to be able to preserve your Eject Button while still being a useful member of your team. So Pokemon like Stoutland, who have base speeds that are high, should invest in speed to avoid that possible situation. Beyond that, bulky Pokemon are basically a requirement to use the eject button. You don't want to switch in a frail Pokemon, because at that point it's basically just death fodder. Stoutland is who I use, has 85 HP, 90 in both defenses. That is very bulky, and on top of that it has Intimidate. Intimidate is great for eject Pokemon because they're able to come in quickly, get off the Intimidate, and get out, allowing them to come back in and Intimidate once more. So Intimidate is one great ability to keep in mind. Another great ability is Regenerator. So the idea here is that you can come in, take the hit, get eject buttoned out, and the Regenerator will heal all of that damage back for you. Tangrowth and Amoonguss are great options in higher tiers because Amoonguss resists Volt. They both resist Volt Switch, and Amoonguss takes neutral damage from U-turn. Tangrowth takes super effective damage, but its base defense is so high it really won't be a factor after Regenerator. So because of these reasons, those two Pokemon make great use of the eject button. Down in lower tiers, Audino also has Regenerator and is not weak to either Volt Switch or U-turn. It has base 103 HP and 86 defenses, allowing it to make great use of the eject button in a lower tier. Another example in a low tier, even in P, would be Drifblim. It makes use of a very high HP stat to kind of counteract lower defenses. Kind of how Chansey can be used to take physical hits because of its absurd HP. In addition to that, once the eject button has been used, next time you bring in Drifblim, it's free to go for acrobatics safely. And another great example I could think of off the top of my head was Granbull. Like Stoutland, it gets Intimidate. It doesn't have as much speed, but it's got some very good defenses and HP, just like Stoutland, and arguably better typing. So, just to recap, great abilities for eject button users include Intimidate and Regenerator. You want a bulky Pokemon, and speed is an advantage. Of course, there are many Pokemon that can benefit from using an eject button, and these are just a few examples. And I'm sure a bunch of other abilities could be really interesting while used in combination with the eject button. While I was recording this, I thought about weather setters, like what about Drought and Sandstream? If you were to bring in a Tyranitar on like a U-turn or something, that could eat it up. Tyranitar's super bulky, let's be honest. You set up the sand, and then you get eject buttoned right into an Excadrill that could easily change the course of a game. I really hope you guys learned something from this video. I put a lot of work into it, and I hope it was informative. If you guys learned something, a like and a comment would be really appreciated, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.